Hey, halfway point of the season, right? Week number 5, and welcome to the Friday Game Night Pick'em Show.
Halfway point of the season.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Bro.
It's week 5. It's the 5th game for a lot of people.
What's half of 12, Bo?
Half of 12 is 6.
Yeah, so not quite halfway home.
That's that Dawsonville math.
No, it's that Alabama math. You taught it to me.
6.
So there we go. But welcome to the show, guys, as we are rolling on the high school football season, and we hope that the show continues rolling today. Thank you, AT&T, for our internet outage here at our studios. Regardless, though, guys, week number 4. Okay.
Look, it's football season. You can't let a little AT&T issue slow us down.
Oh, we
AT&T
might.
trying to hold me down.
Hold me down. Oh, no. Yeah. Week number 4, though.
15-2, and they're trying to get me off the
15
air.
and 2. There it is. 15 and 2. By the way, while you mentioned that, I'm going to go ahead and mention my record because it's my best of the season at 14 and 3. Caleb and Seth with 13 and 4. Jeff was 12 and 5, and our guest picker, Mr. Tim Whitmire, last week was 11 and 6.
See, that's more like it from the guest picker. Thank you, Tim.
Walker has tied the guest picker, by the way. Caleb is 1 game behind. Seth is a 3 games behind. I'm 4 games behind. Jeff, you are 5 games behind.
So, Walker, you've never won the Pick'em Show, correct?
This is my 3rd season doing it, so very small sample size.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is you're leading.
I won the regular season my first year. Yes, I did.
You did. Okay. So you're leading at the half. The question is, are you going to
Still
collapse?
not the half.
He's
Still not the half.
Yeah, it's coming. It's a collapse coming. In
Late
the second half.
quarter. Late second quarter.
It's a collapse
I'm
coming.
leading second quarter. I was hoping to be middle of the pack second quarter and finish strong. I guess I'm just gonna have to run away with it.
Ooh.
Now you've jinxed yourself. Remember when Caleb did that a couple of weeks ago?
I mean, I'm still pretty close to the
You
top
are.
right now.
You are.
I've had the best start to a season I've
You
ever
have.
had.
You have. I will give you
If
that.
nothing else,
Yeah, in a word, you suck
confidence
most
is
of the
going to
years.
reign supreme. You know,
Caleb, you've been
whether
terrible.
whether
most
it's
of the-
Will it?
confidence or confidence, it's going to reign supreme.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
So what are the standings top to bottom right now?
Well, I just read them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You've got guest picker and Walker tied at the top.
Okay, sorry.
They are 49 and 19. You've got yourself, Caleb, 48 and 20.
I'm
Seth-
1 game back.
Seth is 46 and 22. I'm 45 and 23, and Jeff is 44 and 24.
with 5.
acting-
This
acting
thing
like
is
I've
very
collapsed.
much in doubt.
Acting like I've collapsed and I'm 1 game back.
No, I didn't act like you collapsed
I
at
feel
all.
like I'm in great position to defend my title. I really do.
You believe so?
I do. Yes,
Oh, did you win last year? I've already forgotten.
I did win. For everybody that's forgotten, Bo, I won last year.
Oh, okay.
That's in the past. We're in the present now.
We are in the
and you're
present
last
now.
place.
So stop. You're in last place. Congratulations.
I won last
Hey,
year.
how about last week of football?
How about last week of football? How about it? What stood out to you?
Buford's dominance over Roswell.
Yeah, that was shocker.
Not
I mean,
that they won,
I-
just the manner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the manner and how they won. They dominated that game from start to finish, and it was a game we all thought would be really close. And I think it was like 31-0 before Roswell even thought about scoring the football. So, is it the Buford of old? The time will tell. But I think Buford's starting to figure a lot of things out.
Well, you give Coach Appling and that coaching staff 2 games against really good competition plus a bye week to get some things figured out, and all of a sudden, Jeff, that offense just looked like a totally different animal.
It did. It's they had balance. They ran the ball. The offensive line got pushed. Dayton Raiola looks like he's getting a little bit more comfortable every game. And this is the time to get going because what we thought was going to be probably a cupcake region schedule has suddenly turned pretty tough. And they're going to need everything they got with Collins Hill and Mill Creek coming up.
And I don't think we thought – I mean, I think we always thought the Mill Creek game was going to be what it's been for a couple of years now. But
Right.
Collins Hill has definitely thrown – you got to start considering Collins Hill now
Absolutely.
a real threat to win that region with the way they've looked so far this year. I'm still upset that North Gwinnett's not in that region because that would just make things even more fun with how good they have looked early
And
in
the
the
old
year.
Buford-North Gwinnett rivalry
Right.
that neither one, for whatever particular reason, wants to get going again.
And we just had the Mill Creek North Gwinnett game that has become a rivalry in the last 15 years, but it wasn't a region game.
No.
So it's anyway, that aside, that region looks really tough. Yeah, and again, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this Buford team develops because once you get out of – and they've got a heck of a game against Douglas County this week. But,
yeah, huge game.
But once they get into region play, it does look like it's just going to be about what happens in that Collins Hill game and that Mill Creek game.
So you also kind of surprising to me because I covered the game was the Jefferson-Stevens County game, but the way it ended at 45-28 win for Jefferson.
Did not see a game that high scoring.
I didn't either. And the way it started, Stevens County goes up 14-0, and then Jefferson kind of settles in a bit. Red Hemphill, big player for them on the night. So that game I thought was going to come down to the very end, which it did not.
Yeah, I kept watching the scores scroll through on Twitter, and so early on I'm like, yikes, what's going on with Jefferson? Okay, I know Stevens is good, but I didn't know that they were going to be able to do this. But then it just, you were at the game, Bo. It was just like a slow creep back into the game, and then once they got the lead, you kind of feel like it's probably over at that point. What was the thing you took away? When nobody expected a high-scoring game like that, but even though they gave up a lot of points early, that Jefferson defense pretty much shut them down the last 2.5 quarters.
Well, you look at they go up 14-0, but one of those is a pick six.
Right.
So, when you look at the defensive play, they gave up 21 points in that game, which an offense rolled in to Memorial Stadium averaging 40. So if you hold them, close to half of their average, that was the biggest thing that I took away. Okay. And Red Hemphill's play, he comes in on offense, gives them, 4 or 5 really good carries, a 68-yard touchdown run. On defense, he has an interception, a fumble recovery, 8 tackles, 1 sack. So all around, you could call him the spark in that game as far as both offense and defense go. But we talk about Jefferson's defense. You come in, you hold the team, 20 points basically under their average.
Right.
That's a pretty good performance, Walker.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew that the Jefferson defense was kind of the strong side of their football to start the year, and now that Gavin Markey's really gotten it going, yes, the pick six early kind of hurt, but figured it out, got things rolling, and Jefferson continues to just absolutely do what we expect Jefferson to do. The other one I wanted to briefly touch on, Bo, Habersham Central giving Cherokee Bluff a scare. Yeah. 8-5A might be back to anybody's game at this point, maybe?
I kind of think it was from the get-go.
I do too, and I know we were jumping on and off of the bandwagons of Jackson County and Habersham Central, but I still believe that that's going to be right there. I think those two teams are definitely going to be in the mix. Clark Central is going to be there, but I had faith in both of those teams. They're looking better and better every week.
Well, the only thing is it's a matter of consistency from Habersham Central, right? Because we've seen them look really good against Cherokee Bluff. We've seen them, Caleb, look not so good against Flowery Branch. So which Habersham Central team do we get down the stretch?
That's a great question. And I'll tell you, they really probably should have won that game against Cherokee Bluff. I mean, they were up 24. Absolutely. They were up 24-14 in the second quarter, or in the third quarter, I'm sorry. And then they had 2 chances with the ball inside the 15-yard line in the fourth quarter. If they score on either of those possessions, they at least go to overtime. They have one play where they get stopped inside the 1-yard line, and then they throw an interception on the last drive of the game. But I thought they really found something there with the running game with Will Banks at quarterback that could maybe serve them well offensively moving forward. But, by the way, how about your old coach, Walker, Tommy Jones, calling the reverse pass to give Cherokee Bluff the lead in the fourth quarter on a 51-yard bomb, which, by the way, thought Habersham had defended. The ball just kind of got through, and then I think the Habersham defenders were so shocked that it got through, they didn't really react in time to stop the guy from breaking free for the touchdown. But still, I mean, how about Tommy Jones going in the bag of tricks to pull out the road win there in Mount Airy?
I mean, you see that a lot of ways now with a lot of different teams. I can't remember who it was in the college game this week, pulling out some trick plays to keep drives going. It was a double pass, I think it was. I can't remember who it was, but either way, you're starting to see that across all of football, and I just think it adds more fun to the game, and credit to the coaches that are willing to do it, and even more credit when it works.
I totally agree. I love to see plays like that where you don't expect it. I think that it pumps the team up, pumps the crowd up. But, we're talking about Habersham Central. Paris Wilbanks, that's the key right now. I think they found their quarterback. That's what they've been looking for about a season and a half. And you got to look at what he's done the last couple of 3 games. I think he had almost 300 total yards last week between and running. We know Benji Harrison's offense. I mean, it's very predicated. It's a spread. You need a good quarterback that can distribute the ball and make plays. They've been kind of looking for that. Then maybe they finally found it. And if they found that quarterback, he continues to get better. I'm telling you, that's going to be – I don't think you're going to want to play them toward the end of the season.
Well, I guess you can say that Hab Central is tuning up for their region run here.
I believe so.
All right, guys, let's move on to our conversations today as we look into what's happening. There are some regions beginning this week, so we're going to kind of go in that direction, but we're going to start off the bat with one of the biggest games across the state in our area. And, guys, I don't know, Walker, what can we expect out of this Gainesville-Carrollton game? Gainesville number 2 in 5A, Carrollton number 1 there. The field will be littered with Division I Power 4 athletes.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of points. Carrollton's offense is really, 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 really good. And Gainesville's defense has been really, 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 really good. Which side breaks, I think, is going to be the key in this one. Gainesville's going to score their points. I firmly believe that. I think Gainesville's offense is really starting to come into their own with Hewley at quarterback. I think that that's kind of the way that they are moving, and the offense is really starting to figure things out. I just don't know, Jeff, if Gainesville's defense has an answer for what Carrollton's got at quarterback.
Well, no one's really had much of an answer for Juju Lewis in, 4 years that he's been over there. This might be a good time for the Jeff Hart side of the show.
Here's some things you need to know.
It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
Listen, here's the thing. Got number 2, Gainesville against, well, what do you want me to say? Can't hear anything. Couldn't hear anything.
No, I was just laughing at the way you started.
Well, I didn't know when to start. Seth didn't give me
You got stung by a bee?
I did. I got stung by a bee. 2 of them, actually, Yellow Jackets.
Y'all didn't see that playing on this screen.
No.
Okay.
Thank you. So the stat of the show is 6. Gainesville is 0 for its last 6 games against number 1 ranked teams. The last time they beat a number 1 ranked team was in 2011 in the Class 3A quarterfinals when they knocked off Sandy Creek 35-21 with Deshaun Watson as quarterback. So it's been a while since they knocked off a number 1 team. It's hard to knock off a number 1 team. You know, speaking of the defense, Walker, I love the Gainesville defense. Look, they got a front 7 that can rival anybody in the state. And when you look at guys like Columbus and Xavier Griffin and the host of other guys, and you look at the back line, if there's a slight weakness, and it's very slight, it's going to be in that secondary, which is where Juju Lewis and those plethora of receivers, I mean, they got 4 guys that have double digits in receptions already. They got 15 total touchdowns between them. Look, they're going to be pushed to the limit. They're going to be stretched. They're going to be challenged, and that's going to be a huge part of this game. But if Gainesville can get a pass rush, if Gainesville can get any sort of pass rush, if they just make Juju Lewis a little bit uncomfortable, move out of the pocket a little bit, I think that they can create enough havoc that they can slow them down. If they can slow them down to 24 points, 28 points, I think they win the game.
But don't you kind of feel like it's the same thing on the other side for Gainesville's offense? Now, granted, I know Kareem at quarterback, this is his first year starting at quarterback. He's gotten better every game. Their offense has some explosive capability, Caleb. So, I mean, don't you kind of feel the same way about the Gainesville offense? I know we're talking about Juju, USC commit. Understand that there's also USC commit on the Gainesville defense as well in Xavier Griffin. So, but Caleb, on the other side of that, Gainesville's offense has that explosive capability.
They do, and it's going to be interesting to see if Carrollton has any ability to disrupt that, because outside of the first half against Moody, we really haven't seen anybody disrupt it yet. So it'll be interesting to see if, I don't really know a whole lot about what personnel Carrollton brings to the ball defensively. I do know that offensively, it's going to be interesting to see. It's just hard for me to see anybody running the ball terribly effectively given Gainesville's front 7. Juju Lewis, though, to me, has a chance to just kind of be the equalizer, because he not only is a great quarterback, he's also mobile, and he can kind of break things down and can kind of take the defense off script and make things happen. And that's where a quarterback like that can be an equalizer. He could present Gainesville's defense with some problems they haven't really had to face a lot of yet, but I agree with what Walker said. I think the Gainesville defense against the Carrollton offense, I think that is where this game is ultimately
100%.
decided.
Well, Caleb, you mentioned about the personnel for Carrollton on defense, and I talked to Alex Payne, UNC, I believe. Is that right? And he's, big, huge guy on the offensive line. He said their big challenge is going to be Carrollton. A lot of their defensive line, their linebackers that line up, so they're going to be a little bit smaller and quicker. And he said that can present a challenge because, Gainesville's offensive line, I mean, it's big. It's not going to be – it might not be quite as quick as some of these smaller guys they might see, that are going to be lining up from the linebacker spot, rushing the passer. So that is going to present some interesting challenges.
And that is something I have seen play out a lot of times is you see an offensive line that looks way bigger than the opposing defensive line, and you think, oh, they're just going to bulldoze them. Doesn't always work out that way because if those guys have that quickness that you're talking about, sometimes even if you're a big and really good offensive line, it can be hard to just get your hands on the guys.
Yeah.
And so it can neutralize the size difference to a large degree. I think that'll be very interesting to watch how that plays out too.
I would agree how this whole game is going to be interesting to watch and how it plays out and who makes the plays down the stretch. I think, Jeff, this game's going to come down to the stretch, down to the fourth quarter. Gainesville Carrollton in a matchup like this, I think it's going to be a fourth quarter battle.
I'm so glad I'm going to go ahead and leave now.
You should.
And get down there early.
All right, there's another, as we talked about or set this up, a region play starting across our area. Region 6-3A is starting region play. This region has become a very interesting region as far as the teams in this. We saw the balance. We saw North Hall rally past. I'm not going to say rally past, but had a big second half. They took advantage of East Hall mistakes in the second half to get a big win there. We saw Lumpkin County, who went way ahead of Dunwoody in the first half, and then Dunwoody comes back in the second half and makes it a respectable game. So, Jeff, I know you saw Lumpkin County play. You've seen some of the 6-3A teams. It starts for, I think, 6 teams start.
Six of them.
Tomorrow night. So 6-3A region, I think it's going to be, use the word over and over, an interesting finish there.
I think that's it. And I really have no – it's hard to know which way this is going to go. I mean, I think coming in, I think we all picked GAC. I think in the magazine, I think GAC was picked as the winner of this region because they're GAC, and you figure, okay, every time they end up in these Class 3A regions with a lot of teams up here, they end up kind of running away with it. But GAC, I mean, they've struggled this year, but they played a very difficult schedule. I thought it was interesting since they're at Lumpkin tomorrow. Lumpkin looked really sharp on offense. I thought Cal looked more comfortable. First game I've seen him this year, he looked more comfortable in the quarterback. And I tell you, that Nolan Matthews kid at running back, he is very quick. He's got great instincts. He can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. I think he is a very dangerous weapon for them. And defensively,
what happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened is Dunwoody was probably averaged about 290 across the line. You were just mentioning about big, again, eventually that started to take a toll. They just could not get back to the quarterback. And he eventually started picking apart the defense, which any decent quarterback, when given time, when you got some good receivers, and Dunwoody has an outstanding offense. Look, I think they did a great job, honestly, to kind of hold them to what they did. So I kind of feel like Lumpkin's offense, at least of what I've been able to gather about GAC, I think Lumpkin offense is going to be the best unit on the field. So the question is, can they put enough pressure like they did early against Dunwoody to kind of take control in that game against Lumpkin? You look at White County and Pickens, there's another game. White County is a team that we kind of felt would be maybe a little further along than they are this year, but then they put up 55 points. Against
but then we don't know, Walker, Caleb, what is Pickens going to be like?
I don't know.
Yeah, and we don't really know a whole lot about them. And then North Hall looks like they are figuring some things out. Again, it does look a little wide open. I think Lumpkin GAC, though, that's where you've got to start this week looking at it because those are the two teams that were projected at the top of the region. And even though GAC has struggled, you still expect them to have a certain talent edge coming in. And, how is that going to play out? I think Lumpkin GAC. If GAC goes up to Dahlonega and beats Lumpkin, it kind of flips the perception of where that region's headed. Whereas if Lumpkin wins, you start going, okay, let's start talking about what does Pickens have. Let's start talking about what White County's doing, what North Hall's doing. Then all of that starts to come into play. But Walker, I think the question to me is, I think Lumpkin will score in this game. My question is, will they be able to stop GAC? Even though GAC has struggled, they're going to bring in Gwinnett County talent up there.
Yeah.
And how does Lumpkin's defense look? I think that probably decides this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure exactly if that's the thing that's going to cause this region to be decided, because I want to go ahead and throw White County into the mix. I know they're at Pickens this week. Yeah, they're at Pickens.
Big game.
But they've figured out something with their offense last week, and Trip Nix finally looks like he's back to being healthy. Accounted for, I think, 5 touchdowns last week in their final tune-up against East Jackson. I don't know if this is as clear-cut as this Lumpkin GAC game is the region championship like we thought back in the preseason now. I think White County is definitely a factor. I mean, think about what they did last year in Dahlonega. 5 overtimes was it, Caleb?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Something. It was a lot of overtimes.
And think of it, the game this year. White County going to want to avenge that. Yeah.
I think that
Hall,
that game is in Cleveland too in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And you got North Hall in there also, Walker. I mean, because they looked they looked much improved last week against East Hall. Looked like they cut down a lot of the mistakes that they had against Cherokee Bluff. I definitely don't think you can count the Trojans out in this thing.
Here's one thing that we're kind of missing, I think, a little bit. I know it's only one region in the state in Class 3A, but GAC can win the region and totally take away the top spot, in the playoff rankings, right?
Yes.
So if anything, this game is huge for Lumpkin County from that standpoint, to start off on the right foot, to say, hey, look, you're not going to take this region. We're going to start with giving you the loss first.
Right.
So this is huge for Lumpkin, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think I was looking at the Georgia High School Football Daily earlier this week, and they're right now projecting Lumpkin County to be the top spot and be the 5 seed, which I think, Lumpkin County grad here, I still don't know if Lumpkin's fully proven that they're ready to be considered the top spot because of their performances this year on the defensive side. They've struggled against Cherokee Bluff, second half struggled against Dunwoody. Granted, more physical on both sides. If somebody comes in and is more physical against Lumpkin County, I don't know that they've they've stepped up to that point yet of being as or more physical than their opponents when they're confronted with that physicality, Jeff. And I think that's the biggest key.
Yeah, no, I think, I think if you're going to watch some game tape, if you have a big offensive line, you're going to watch what Dunwoody did in the second half and how they were kind of able to kind of wear them out a little bit and kind of exert their will on what they wanted to do. It's just Lumpkin had such a big lead, they were able to kind of hang on.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, I definitely liked what the offense did. I think the defense made some plays when they had to, and, and they kind of set the tone in the first half. They got a tremendous strip fumble recovery from A.J. Scott. I think like Dunwoody's third play of the game. Lumpkin took the ball and went straight down, jammed it down the throat, scored. Third play, A.J. Scott, a guy has a crossing pattern. He looked like he's going to go for about 15, 20 yards. A.J. Scott comes up, just says, I'm taking that ball. And he just took it. And then Lumpkin was able to score again like 3 plays later, and it's 14-0. Maybe 4
Yeah,
or
that
5
score
minutes in
was
the game.
going up crazy.
And I think Dunwoody was a little shell shocked, and it took them about
definitely shell shocked.
It took them a quarter to kind of recover, and by that time it was like 28-7.
Here's the thing: I think it's very important for Lumpkin to win this game, not only for Lumpkin but for all of the other North Georgia schools in that region. Here's why: to what Walker and what Bo talked about, with if GAC wins the region, they take the 1 spot. Now it's worth noting, there is still a top 8 seed in the bracket up for grabs if you have one of the 8 highest power ratings in 3A.
That's correct.
But the problem is everybody's got a loss.
Right.
At least 1. And if you're Lumpkin and you lose this game, you've got 2, and everybody's got at least 2 then. And it's hard for me to see any of those teams getting a top 8 spot in the 3A field if they don't take the number 1 spot in the region. So it becomes very important if anybody in the North Georgia part of Region 6 3A is going to get the first 2 playoff games at home, somebody's got to beat GAC to do it.
Pretty much.
You're going to have to beat GAC to do it. And then I've not looked at GAC schedule. I've not looked at, their playoff ranking or whatever you want to call them. But how is this game going to affect if Lumpkin wins? How is this going to affect their playoff ranking?
Look, they're going to have a good. GAC has played a difficult schedule, so if you can knock off GAC, you're gonna get the ranking points for that. Plus, their schedule is very tough, so that's going to be that's probably going to boost you. We saw some teams move up like 30 spots.
We did.
You could see something.
Or we saw West Hall drop down a lot, even though they beat Johnson. Because of your opponent's winning percentage, it dropped them like 20 spots in the playoff ranking. So it's going to be an interesting thing as the season goes on.
And we're so early in the season still that it's going to be highly volatile early when every game that you play is now taking up a massive portion of your statistics.
That's correct. That's correct.
All right, guys, our guest picker, he is waiting in the green room. So we're going to get to him in a few minutes, but we're going to take a break first. It's Dr. Jeremy Williams, Gainesville Superintendent. We figured we'd get him on to get his pick of the big game coming up in Carrollton tomorrow night. Take a break. Be right back with our guest picker as we'll roll the picks. That's all up next right here on the PICKEM Show.
The producer, press play, it's time to start the show.
I'm just excited. I can hear the music.
He found our theme song. And we're back. Our theme song. Gotta love the theme song. Glad you found that, Seth.
Grand.
Good job, Seth. Welcome into the show.
I'm so glad it gets used.
Music wasn't working.
Hey, play
last
that
time.
again. Play that again.
I don't think I want to.
I think you do.
I don't really.
Yeah,
Please do.
The producer.
This is an AI song that Bo wrote for our show Off the Rails.
Wrote in quotation marks. He put a prompt in.
Oh, is that what it was?
There's a Pick'em show one out there too. Like I know this is off the rails, but there's a Pick'em one out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Either way, I think we have more important things to get to, like our guest picker,
Let me do
who's
our
been
guest
waiting
picker.
for a hot minute.
He's been waiting. Dr. Jeremy Williams. What's up, Doc? How you doing?
Well, I did not expect the first thing I see today being Jeff dancing.
Well, you got it.
I don't really know how the rest of this is going to go. Let's give it a try.
I'm doing everything I can to throw everybody off their game today. I'm at the bottom of the standings here, Dr. Williams. I got to do something. So if I am already in your head, then this is working. Am I allowed to say that against the guy that's the leading guy at Gainesville City Schools? I don't want.
You just did.
I don't want to be banned.
Well, Jeff, you remember every time I see you, you ask me about the press box and is it big enough? It is for everyone else, but we're gonna have to move you somewhere else.
I thought I was going to get my own wing
Somehow the smallest person in the building needs the most space of anybody in the building.
Of course, I'm me.
Well,
I'm Jeff Hart. Thank you.
Hey, by the way, since you mentioned the press box, September 20th is just right around the corner. Is there going to be a game September 20th at City Park?
As long as you look at the field, everything's going to look the same. You start to look up at the press box. There may be some panels that are missing, but the stands are ready. The plaza got poured today. Everything's really on track and looking good. There'll be some things to the fan that's there that'll be about 95% done. So we'll be there. We'll be ready. And then we'll see what happens a couple weeks later. Hopefully we'll be all 100% done at that point.
It's going to look great. I will say this. I drove by the other day, and there's still a big dirt pile and some other stuff. But, the seating with the look of the new press box and just I think once it's all done, it might be the best venue in the state when it's all said and done.
I appreciate that. One of the things that we really wanted to accomplish was not take away the feel of City Park. We don't have a track around it. It's still natural grass, all of those things that when visiting teams come, it's a memory for them and hopefully a big win for us every time. And to be able to keep that and kind of tuck in now the new bleachers and the new press box, new concession stand, restrooms, we've got a plaza and ADA accessibility, just a lot of things that we're really overdue. And just really excited to see our fans show up and show out and support our team next week when we play Lanier.
The biggest question I have for you, Jeremy, is have you done your homework for the picks?
Yes, sir.
Well, look at that.
He's got the
He's got
notepad
a
out.
notepad and everything.
I don't think you get to be a
And I may or
superintendent
may
without doing
not
homework.
have made a couple of phone calls.
I'm about to say,
to
because
some contacts in other districts.
I was about to say the last Gainesville person we had on here was Katie B. Davis, and she came in. You showed one page off a notebook. She had like 3 or 4 pages written out of notes and stuff. So did you use her to help with the research ahead of this?
No, I figured I have to share my time with y'all, so just short notes is enough for me. I also thought I could go the easy route and say any other Hall County school I'm voting against.
Wow.
I'm picking against. I'm not doing that, but it would have made it real easy on the research side.
Well, let's go ahead and get the pick started. As the pick order this week is Jeff, Caleb, Seth, Walker, and myself.
I'm dead last in the standings. I should go last. I think I've earned that right.
You have not. The
Where do you want to
random
throw in
generator.
Dr. Williams there.
Dr. Williams.
Where am I going?
You are after myself, by the way.
Okay, got it.
So he gets to go last.
Yes, he gets to go last.
He gets to hear all of our
he gets to have
commentary,
all of
then
our.
you get to
Yep,
make his
that's
pick.
right. All right, so
It pays to
Let's
be
go.
the boss. It pays to be the boss.
here we go. Banks County at Cherokee Bluff, Jeff.
I'm going to take Bluff.
Yeah, Cherokee Bluff in this one.
Seth.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to the order, so that's me now. Yeah, I'll take Bluff.
Walker.
Cherokee Bluff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bluff in this one.
Banks just can't score right now.
Yeah, same here. Cherokee Bluff just returning to form.
It's 32 points, though.
It is 32
Dark horse
points.
dog.
Perhaps so. Probably not. Bremen at Rabun County. Rabun County is a 13-point favorite in this one, by the way.
Ty True Love is back. I'm gonna take Rabun County.
By the way, keep the quarterback for Bremen obviously in your thoughts and prayers. He's continuing to recover from
That's
that
right.
awful injury that he suffered earlier this year. From a football standpoint, that also means they're down their starting quarterback. I'm going to take Rabun County in that one.
Raven as well.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rabun at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit Rabun at home as well.
Yeah, with True Love back, the only loss Bremen had was to Bowden, and their quarterback's out, so you got to go Rabun.
All right, Buford at Douglas, one of the other big giant games this week. We don't have the line on here because I'm sure it's under 4 points. But Jeff, Buford at Douglas.
Well, how do you go against Buford after what you saw last week? I mean, is Douglas better than Roswell? Probably, but I mean, they're showing they don't care where they go. I'm taking Buford.
If Buford plays the way they did last week, they're going to win this ball game. I'm going to take Buford. I think that they've gotten some things figured out after the bye week, and I'm going to take them on the road in this one.
Seth?
Yep, Buford.
Yeah, there's no way I'm picking against Buford after last week.
Will it be a letdown after such
That's
a
a
big
good
win
question.
That is a very good
against
question.
Roswell?
That is a
Haven't
good
talked
question.
about that.
I did go against Buford last week. It did bite me in the tail.
Me too.
Do I do it again this week?
He's thinking about it. He
I'm going
wants
to go
do
with
it.
Buford.
Ah, he didn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Just couldn't
Well,
do
the
it.
games.
Yeah, you give me Appling in that defense. I know, Douglas County's got a good bit of size to them, but I still pick Buford.
Yeah. Okay, a big one here in 6-3A we talked about a little while ago. Greater Atlanta Christian School at Lumpkin County.
Really wish Walker picked before me on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Why don't we just
Oh,
let
wait, he
Walker go
does.
first? Let's just
No,
let Walker
no,
go.
not an option.
Nope, not an option, Jeff.
I'm not the guest picker.
The
I'm
random
not the
number
guest picker.
generator has spoken.
Nah, that's just not right. I tell you, I liked what I saw from Lumpkin last week. I think defensively they'll probably tighten up a few things. I'm going to take the Indians at the burial grounds.
This is tough. One of the tougher ones to call on the slate this week. I'm going to go with what is the line on this game, by the way? It's
4
4.
points.
4 points
Lumpkin,
in
4
favor of
point.
the home team.
Yep.
It's essentially a pick'em game.
Yeah. I'm going to go with
Do it.
GAC in a shootout.
I knew you would do that.
I'm going to go GAC in like a
knew you
38 to
would.
35 kind of game.
I knew you would do that, Seth.
Oh, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be close, but I mean.
You're going to do it too,
At-
aren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going to do it at home.
Wait, you're a Trojan, though. You can't go for the Spartans.
They're not the Spartans, Bo.
I'm not.
Oh, wait, you're talking about the GAC Spartans.
You're- I
Oh,
said
you're
I'm
going
not.
for. Oh,
But North Hall doesn't like Lumpkin either.
well, that's true.
That's why I thought you were going with
I'm
that.
now.
That's a
thoroughly-
conundrum.
I don't know what I'm doing now. I'm thoroughly confused.
Hey, Bo, perfectly executed.
I came into this wanting to go for
Creating
Lumpkin.
confusion.
Pick set.
Lumpkin at home. I want to go home.
Where's this game getting played at?
Delonigan.
What? Do you not know
That's
this
all
already?
you-
There.
It's in my
Gold City.
mind, Walker. It's just in my mind.
So you picked
that's all
GAC,
I-
It's in
Walker.
my head.
Walker picked
Nah.
GAC. That's shocking.
No.
He did?
Oh.
No.
Oh, I thought I heard you say.
Been in Dahlonega. What did I write in 5 things 2 weeks ago?
Hey, I know.
I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it either.
either.
I mean,
I don't need you to. Everybody knows where my pick is.
Basketball is magical. It's something you
You
said.
know, basketball is magical.
So anyway, so you're going with Lumpkin, right? You think there's going to be
am.
some magic in the burial grounds. All right, look, I'm going to go with Lumpkin as well in this game. I think they have enough to win this game. And with, again, I'm still going to say it, with the playoff ranking system, this is a huge game. Just because GAC is the private school here and they don't play in the public school playoffs. This is a huge game for Lumpkin and Region 638, I think, to get off on the right foot and say, hey, this is going to be our region. So I'm going with Lumpkin in this one.
Yeah, I'm a big Coach Webb fan, working with him for 4 years, and give me Lumpkin up at the burial grounds.
George Walton at Lakeview Academy, another region here. It's a region opener
This
or
one's
district opener. An interesting game with this Lakeview, though, Jeff, has been on fire here as
They
of late.
have been, and George Walton has been one of those teams that traditionally come in, play the private schools when they thought they've had a great chance to beat them, and GW leaves with a win. I definitely could see that again this week. But I tell you, y'all have convinced me. There's something about this Lakeview team this year right now. Lee Coleman's got them really playing well up there. We don't know what the line, because we don't get one, so it's that close. I do expect a close game. I'm going to take Lakeview. I would like to see them kind of get over that hurdle of GW. So I'm going to take the Lions at home.
I think. Wait, isn't this game at George Walton?
No, it's in Lakeview.
No.
Lakeview.
It's in Gainesville. Oh, okay. That solidifies my pick even further. I think Lakeview's probably the better team. I think they got the best player on the field in Kiari
do
Birch,
too.
so I'm going to take
Yep.
the Lions.
Seth, we're at Lakeview now.
Yeah, Lakeview.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Lake. Oh, no, go ahead, Caleb. I mean,
Walker. The guy on the screen.
I don't know why I did. Why do we
That's the
confuse
first
each
time I've
other?
been called Caleb.
Yeah,
Normally
well,
it's Walter
Nor-
or Walter Kerr or
Look,
whatever.
hey, it's
Walker
one of those
Kerr.
things. Normally I call Seth Caleb.
So
I've not
that's-
done any of your funny name
Yeah.
stuff this.
So that's
so
strike
far.
one. So that's strike
Yeah.
one, right? If he gets 3 strikes, then somebody else is hosting the remainder of the show.
I'm out.
Here's the only reason why I'm not picking Lakeview, because I agree with you, Caleb, that Kiari Birch is the best player on the field. Lakeview doesn't have the numbers and the depth to be able to keep up with George Walton. And I think that shows late in the game. I think George Walton wins a very, very close game.
So what is the roster count for George Walton?
Give me a second, because I looked it up yesterday.
Well, in the meantime, let's get Bo
My pick. Yeah. So, I like the way Lakeview's been playing. And, George Walton typically comes in, as you said, and just kind of walks the dog in this game. But I'm going to go with Lakeview. It's going to be hard to go against Birch in that Lakeview offense. So depth may play an issue, as Walker says, but
46 is compared to 24 on the max prep.
that's a lot. But I think Lakeview.
can only have 11 on the field
That's
at a time,
right.
though, Walker.
That's right. So, going with Lakeview, Jeremy.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I don't think they've ever beaten George Walton, but there's got to
Never.
be a first for everything, so that's going to happen this Friday.
Moving on down the line here, Habersham Central at Loganville. Of course, Dr. Williams has a liking to Hab Central. He is a Hab graduate, so I'm interested to see where he goes with this game. But, Jeff, you get the first pick in this one. The Raiders, an 8-point favorite.
Well, considering that, a couple of days ago, our old buddy Gene Cathcart, you set this mic and it keeps getting lower and lower. But
I don't know how that's happening because you're not getting any taller.
There it is. Boom.
There it
And
is.
go.
I don't know where to go with that.
I don't either.
Gene Cathcart, he resigned on Tuesday for health reasons, so that's going to be a big loss. They were already 0-4. They were struggling We like the way Hab Central's been playing lately. I'm going to take the Raiders on the road to kind of open up that region slate with a bang.
Loganville has really struggled so far this year. I'm going to take Habersham to win this one. This is, I think, a must-win for them.
Yeah, give me Habersham.
Yeah, I'm going to take Habersham as well, although I think Loganville can play some inspired football to try and rally behind Coach Cathcart, even though he resigned. I think Habersham's got just enough, though.
Yeah, in the words of Walker, go Raiders. Hab Central's going to win this one.
Yeah, I was kind of looking to see what was going to happen in this one, just because Cathcart, of course, used to be in Habersham back in the mid-2000s, and having that rivalry there possibly a little bit. You never know that when a coach leaves, how the team's going to respond. It could rally the troops, and they do great. It could also mean that they haven't quite found their identity. I think Habersham settled in with Parrish Wilbanks at quarterback and kind of doing some things there with the run game that definitely looks to be a little stronger than it was earlier in the season. But also, I cannot visit my parents or my mother-in-law if I do not pick Habersham. So I have to go back at some point. And so give me Habersham over Loganville.
Nothing like those pressure picks.
Yeah, nothing like
Dr.
it.
Williams.
You know, if you look at our pick document, you might be looking there wondering, where's Loganville?
And
Nobody
there it
picked them.
is. And there it is.
I'll
That
be
might
here
have
all
been-
week. Thank you.
Was
Yeah,
that the
you will.
hardest
You
pick
will.
for you, Dr. Williams, because of your family
No,
ties?
no.
Okay.
This week there's been a lot of toss-ups, and so it kind of came down to last night, just kind of doing a few things to kind of see where I wanted to lean. But that to me, that was a toss-up game, possibly before the Cathcart situation.
Okay.
But then I was going to go Habersham either way, but they kind of helped solidify it.
Well, good pick, because the next family dinner will be good to you. Jackson County at Madison County. Jackson County a
Sneaky
4-point
good game.
favorite in this one. Of course, Madison coming off that loss to Commerce. So what you got, Jeff?
Well, Madison, they run that triple option. That's hard if you don't see it much, it's hard to defend. They give everybody struggle. But I like where Jackson County's moving forward right now. I'm gonna take the Panthers on the road.
Coming off a bye week 2, I like Jackson County.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think the way that Madison County lost is a little bit more the surprise than that Commerce won. I think all of us picked Commerce to win that game last week, but the way that they won, I think, surprising. I think that says that Jackson County may be a little bit ahead of where Madison County is at this point in the season, Bo.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Love the way Jackson County rebounded after, the Jefferson loss, and I think Coach Mobbs has them heading in the right direction. Have the off week coming into this game, so we go with the Panthers in this one.
Yeah, Coach Mobbs at Lanier had a lot of success, played against him here in Gainesville, stepped away for a couple years, been in Jackson County now having success there. Looks like they're on the upswing. I also used to teach for Corey Miles. We were at Collins Hill back in the early 2000s, so give me Jackson County over Madison.
This one a big game, although not a region game.
How did we miss this one?
It's a big game here. Jefferson at North Oconee.
We didn't miss this one, Walker. There were so many good
So many.
games. We decided to kind of
I know, but golly,
yeah,
this is big.
I know. Listen,
Jefferson coming off the
Look,
win over Stevens County, showing that they could rally from behind
Listen,
and get the win.
How do you not discuss number 2 and number 3 in 6A in Beaufort and Douglas County? I mean, that's kind of where
true.
where we were. We went over this. I mean, it was hard. Wow, I love the way Jefferson's playing. North Oconee always going to give you a battle. But right now, I'm convinced the defense is locked in for Jefferson, and that offense looks like, when they need something, they can get it. So I'm going to take the Dragons on the road.
I was very impressed with Jefferson last week, Bo, because we knew their offense was getting some traction. It's easy to get traction when you're kind of front running on people and blowing people out. It's a different thing when you get down 14-0, and you got to come back. And you need your offense in that moment, and the fact that they showed that, I'm buying the Dragons stock right now, big time. I got Jefferson.
Seth,
Give me Jefferson.
Does anybody have a crystal ball to tell me who's going to have the ball last?
Fresh out of those, I'm afraid.
Yeah, sorry about that.
yeah,
I guess
no.
I'll take Jefferson then, but I honestly think it comes down to who has the ball last.
You were impressed about Jefferson. You said as well ago last week. To go down in the game on a pick six. I mean, a lot of teams that would just kill them. And that's the way Jefferson started the game with a pick six, and then they go down 14-0. They show that they can come back. Defense played lights out. It's hard for me to pick against Jefferson, so even though it's at North Oconee, I think Jefferson's going to roll in and win that game. And I'll echo what Walker said. I think it's going to come down to the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like the rest of you, last week was very impressive the way they just came out and fought back, and I think they ride that high into this week. They've had their stars the last number of years with Malachi Starks and Sammy Brown, and they're trying to find who those next ones are going to be. So give me Jefferson in a tight game over North Oconee.
Lanier Christian Academy, are they at Georgia Force or is Georgia Force at LCA?
It's at Georgia Force.
Okay, so LCA at Georgia Force.
Where is that?
Well, it's an independent school, but they play at Gary Perkle down there in Sewanee.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't know where they used as a home field.
Right, that's where they use.
All right.
Do we all want to go to get at the same time here?
I have not a clue on this one because it's very hard to get any info on any of them. I'll take Georgia Force.
Okay. I got LCA.
Yeah, LCA.
I thought we would all take LCA here, but we'll
Yeah, I'll take LCA as well.
I'm going to go with Georgia Force.
Oh. Totally.
With a name like Georgia Force, you got to go with that pick. So give me Georgia Force.
That's the former Arena League team.
R.I.P. the
Sewanee.
Georgia Force Arena League team. I
Yeah.
loved going to those games. A lot of
Those
fun.
were so much fun.
So the Battle of Highway 60, North Hall at Chestatee. The Trojans are a 15-point favorite. As we all know in here, Chestatee has only won in this series two times. North Hall is 22-2. Does that change, Jeff, this week?
Look, I love North Hall. I love Chestatee.
Oh, here we go.
Kids were in the
Pandering.
Chestatee
He's
system.
pandering.
So
just drop the hammer.
Just
listen,
go.
Look, I always have a soft spot in my head and it's bold, for Chestatee. But I tell you, I was really impressed with what North Hall did last week.
You should have wore your sweatshirt.
I know. I didn't.
Your Trojan
I'm going to
hat.
take the Trojans at home, but I tell you, I think Chestatee could give them fits with that triple option, with the wing tee, I mean.
I've got North Hall, too. I do think this game is competitive because even though North Hall is figuring some things out on offense, I do think the Chestatee will be able to make a little headway offensively of their own. Not enough, though. I've got North Hall.
It's a tough one for Seth here.
Not really, North Hall.
Okay.
The way that North Hall was able to defend East Hall last week, mobile quarterback, that's kind of, I know it's not the same with the wing tee, but a lot of similar characteristics. Quarterback's going to try and get to the outside. North Hall contained East Hall well. I think they can contain Chestatee.
I got to give Chestatee a thumbs up. Their physicalness that they play with defensively. The offense still coming around on that wing tee, but it is more efficient than it was this time last year. So you can see the progression of the improvement of Chestatee's wing tee offense and on defense. However, North Hall is also figuring it out with all the new moving pieces that are in that offense and on that defense. It's hard to pick against North Hall in this series just because of the history. So I've got the Trojans in this one, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm going back and looking at my list, and I'm picking Buford and Lakeview and Jefferson and all these people that are saying, wait, city guys picking these other competitors, right? But dadgummit, I'm going to continue that trend and pick North Hall over Chestatee. I think with two QBs there with Smith, McGarvey, and Schleeman, you can ride the hot hand, and I think that's just going to prove too much for Chestatee.
So
he did do his homework.
He did do his homework.
Yes,
I mean,
he did.
It's good stuff. So has Athens Christian ever been a favorite? Because they are a favorite in this game. They are an 18-point favorite over Riverside, as Riverside will travel over to Athens to play this game.
Well, they're 2
And this is a district game, by the way.
They're 2-2. Remember, they had just that brutal season.
Brutal
season last year where I think there was talk
They only had
might
like 15 players.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was talk they were going to just
Hang it up.
completely disband the program. And now here they are. They're 2-2. They're back in region play, and they're actually playing pretty well. Riverside just really struggling right now. I mean, I hate it for Jeff Lee over there. He's got a tall task to try to rebuild that. I'm going to take the Eagles in Athens.
Which one?
Which Eagles?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
they're both Eagles.
Oh, which one?
And I'm going to take the home team in Athens Christian.
Okay.
Athens Christian.
Athens Christian.
Athens Christian, close.
Oh,
Close, okay.
the drama effect from
maybe a
from
little
Walker.
maybe a little bit of a preview for Dark Horse Talks.
It could be a Park and Rec game. Lumpkin West, close. Anyway, I'm going to go with Athens Christian in this one.
Yeah, I think there's been one touchdown scored all year by Riverside, so give me Athens Christian.
South Forsyth at North Forsyth. The Raiders a 12-point favorite in this one, Jeff.
I think they played pretty well, but weren't they trailing in that forfeit game?
Yeah, 7-0.
Yeah.
That was week 1.
That was week 1.
I take.
They were also ahead of Creekview by, I think, 10 at one point. Ended up losing that game.
Yeah, this is such a crazy rivalry game.
North Forsyth, that is.
Yeah, this is a tough game. I'm kind of surprised the line's that high. I tell you, I'll take the Raiders just because they're at home, but man, this could be a wild game.
I'm going to take South Forsyth. A little bit of an upset.
Go Raiders.
I mean, I'm going to go with the home team. Raider Valley is going to be fired up for this rivalry game. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, this one is the ultimate rivalry in Forsyth County. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one as well.
Yeah, we played North Forsyth for 6 straight years, so we got to see them up close, and you know that the trenches and the line of scrimmage is always a strength of theirs. So give me that disciplined nature of North Forsyth over South Forsyth.
Towns County at Ware Shoals, South Carolina. Jeff, what do you know?
I know. That's it. That's what I
Okay.
know. That's it.
Sorry.
But I tell you, I like what Coach Rock's doing up there. I'm going to take Towns County on the road.
Long road trip there. Ware Shoals, that sounds like it's got to be coastal somewhere, right? Is that correct? Or
do we even know?
We know
I
Ware
don't
Shoals.
think so.
I do know.
Where is Ware Shoals? Where Shoals?
Their Shoals.
Ware Shoals.
Their
Yeah,
Shoals.
I think it's in upstate.
Sioux Shoals.
I do. I think it's in upstate.
Either way, long
Dr.
road
Seuss
trip.
book
I'm going
now.
to take Ware Shoals
Okay.
on that one.
Seth?
Ware Shoals.
Ware Shoals is probably, I don't know, 20 miles east of Anderson. So it is a longer road trip, but not coastal by any stretch.
Okay, I got you.
Um,
Well, I heard Shoals. I thought Shoals must be, which I guess Cedar Shoals in Athens. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean anything coastal.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to take
That was the
Towns
point I
County.
was gonna
Seth,
make,
who did
too.
you pick?
Who was that? Did you say?
I picked Towns. Seth, who did you pick?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
He picked
I need to
Ware
mark it
Shoals.
down.
Ware Shoals.
He's wearing Souls. Okay, so you picked Towns County?
I did. I'll go with Jeff.
Yeah, I'm going to jump on those coattails with you.
Thank you, Walker. I appreciate the support.
Go Indians.
I believe that game may be getting moved to Thursday due to Florence on something I read last night. But I will say that outside of that Lakeview game, Towns County's been doing okay. So the quarterback plays improvement. Give me Towns County.
Union County at Rockmart. Rockmart is a 23-point favorite.
They lost in the final.
Yeah, what say you, Jeff? I was
Look,
going to bring that part up. but-
I'm going to take Rockmart.
Rockmart.
Of course, they play at The Rock, which is a great name for a stadium.
Caleb Rockmart.
Caleb's doing like a Jim from The Office face, just like
Rockmart.
It brings me no pleasure.
yeah. I'm going to go with
It's a bad
Rockmart.
situation at Union with the quarterback being
Yeah,
out.
definitely
They
is.
got to win last
they've
week.
got
Right.
They've got that freshman.
Murray.
Hey, and that win improved their playoff ranking.
Murray
by the way.
County's not Rockmart.
No, but you know
What you
they're-
got, Seth?
They got
Rockmart.
They got good play from that freshman quarterback. So Michael Perry, he knows what he's.
No,
doing.
that could
We'll
be
see.
something here in a
We'll
little
see.
bit, but you got to
Yeah.
play Rockmart this
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
At Rockmart.
Yeah, Camden Kendrick really is starting to find his way
Yes.
behind center in the loss of Dockery with the ACL. But I think Rockmart just too much, and it's on the road. If it was in Blairsville, maybe a different story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rockmart in this one.
Y'all may not know this, but before I came to Gainesville, I was associate superintendent in 5 years in Union County. And so a lot of ties, a lot of great people up there. Known the Dockery family the entire time we moved up there 12 years ago. I know that was a huge blow, but also know Michael Perry is going to be getting them to a point down the road, but that's not going to be this week. So give me Rockmart over Union.
White County at Pickens. A 4-point favorite is White County. Don't say county after Pickens. They get mad.
That's right. I'm going to say the Warriors. Taking the Warriors.
Good game I think White County's offense is really good, and I'm going to take the Warriors in this one. They have not scored fewer than 4 touchdowns in a game yet, I believe. So I think White County is going to get this one on the road.
Seth.
He's lost in deep thought over there.
White County.
And that's it. That's what we get.
I agree with Caleb. The offense is going to be the difference in this game. They really don't have to stop anybody if they're not being stopped. I don't think Pickens has the answer defensively.
So what are you saying? They just need to score one more touchdown or one more field goal than the
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree
the
with you.
goal is to score one more point than the other team, and that's a win.
That's right. I agree. White County in this one.
Yeah, White County's quarterback's healthy. Give me Chad Bennett and the White County Warriors over Pickens County.
All right, well, we saved one of the biggest games for last only because we do that for our guest picker who is representing said school, and that's Gainesville at Carrollton. But we also let the guest picker go first in this pick as well. So, Dr. J, you're up first in this Gainesville at Carrollton pick.
I want to hear his analysis of this.
So, our team has been battle tested ever since Coach Niblett got here. Underdogs many, many, many times. Big underdogs at times. Going into this Carrollton game, it's definitely some road warriors for our kids this year. 4 straight weeks being away from City Park. Our fans have traveled extremely well, oftentimes as many, if not more fans supporting. It's a big game being Carrollton. We know that Juju's going to be ready with his receivers. They got a lot of skill guys, whether it's the running back, the receivers, their DBs. They're stacked in that area. But on our side, I know what we've got. We've got Coach Niblett. We've got making adjustments. If the game's close at halftime, give me Big Red all day long. But before we get to that, one of the things that I just feel big and strong about is seeing these guys up front and seeing the maturation of these kids over the years. They're ready and they're hungry. And we've never had a group of kids that just thrive so much under being the underdog. In my 7 years, it's now 8 seasons in Gainesville. It's nice to see that Big Red is alive and well. And so my pick's going to be a little different. I mean, I think we all know where we're headed, but I'm going to play the fight song to make this a little more fun if we can, all right?
Here we go.
Hey!
Hey, look at that.
Now
That is
so give me Big Red all day long.
I love it.
that is how you do it right
That
there.
is definitely how you do it.
I think
That's the best guest pick we've had
ever. I'm
in
gonna
3 years
It
since
is.
I've been on the show.
I agree.
Guest pickers are in trouble the rest of the way.
That's promo. But our first ever headgear pick.
Yeah,
love
first
it.
ever.
History of the Pick'em show.
Love it.
Yeah, it's nice when you're superintendent. You can just say, "Hey, can I get that headgear? Hey, can I get this and that?"
Yeah, that was my next question. Is like, hey,
I
how
saw
long
the
was
helmet behind you, Dr. Williams. I thought the helmet was going to go on. I wasn't expecting the elephant.
No.
Was that
helmet's
thing
gonna
just
be hitting
sitting there this
somebody come
morning,
Friday
or
night.
how long's it been sitting there?
No, we can't see
Yesterday.
it.
Is that the helmet they're going? Is it the red helmet or the white helmet Friday, or is that a surprise?
I have
Is
not
that-
heard yet.
Okay,
So
okay.
I believe it's likely going to be white since that's what they practiced in this week.
Okay.
They usually practice in the color helmet.
I
if they're gonna
like
play on
that
Friday.
new
Is
white
that the
helmet.
one that's got the big red on the side of it?
Yeah, it's got the G on one
Yeah.
side and Big Red on the
Yeah.
I
other.
love that. Oh my God! When y'all
That's a
broke that
good-looking
out at
helmet.
Moody, that was awesome. I love that helmet. That was great. My favorite helmet all year.
Well, and a lot of the people don't realize too, kids get so excited about the color schemes, what we're wearing, how we're mixing, how we're matching. And I believe last year during the regular season, we never repeated the same scheme.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show the preparation that our team does week in and week out. The morning practices, I was out there this morning, just seeing, how the guys are doing, and just they're relaxed and ready. And we know it's going to be a tight game come Friday night, but it's also a time to shine.
I wanted, while we got, Doc, before I make my pick, I wanted to ask you, because I tell you, I think the one thing I've been the most impressed about early on is, when you look at what was going on in the summer, and you had the quarterback that leaves in the middle of the summer, and now you got a sophomore quarterback that was expecting to be back up. Now he's thrust. He's like, hey, you're the guy. And I'm not sure that I have seen a young quarterback in such a short amount of time make such a huge improvement and jump. he's the they're the number one player on every team, and high expectations for your team this year. Kareem has just tell us a little bit about that kid.
So what you see, everything on the field that you see, the talent, the decision making, the game slows down for him, but you can't get there unless you got a great kid to work with. And Coach Niblett always preaches the type of person you are, the type of student you are, the type of athlete you are, then it's the type of football player that you are. And Kareem is the most polite, respectful, yes, sir, no, sir, picking up trash, helping out. You got to have your quarterback as a leader. And at the end of the day, sometimes they try to make that fit in different programs. But when you see somebody like Kareem come in as a sophomore, leading this massive offensive line, the skilled receivers that we have, defense even respects him as well because they go head to head. And oftentimes the competition we have during the week is a lot tougher than what we see on some Friday nights. And so Kareem is poised and ready.
Yeah, I really like
Time for your pick, Jeff. Time for your pick. Stop stalling and let's make the pick here. This is the largest stall I've ever seen.
No, I was curious to get because we haven't talked to Kareem all year.
I know. I know.
And I love everything.
He said something different because I recall early in the show him saying you keep bugging him about the press box.
Mm-hmm. I didn't ask him about the press box.
Yeah. So
I'll get to that later.
Well, listen, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to be very disappointed. I'm going to be very disappointed if Jeff goes in the direction different than Gainesville. He is wearing red today.
I am wearing.
He also
red.
has an Alabama.
Got an Alabama hat.
And he's got an Alabama hat, and he's got an Alabama hat with Niblett.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, Jeff.
I'm ready to go. I love everything that's got. I love what's going on in Gainesville. Love the defense. Love the offense. But they haven't beaten the number one team since Deshaun Watson was here. Carrollton, I've seen them. That is a beast of a place to play. They're number one. They've got every. I think it's going to be a great game. It's going to go down.
Hold that pick. I think we've had a technical issue.
Well, Dr. Williams, I like everything that's going on with Gainesville right now. Love the offense, love the defense, love Coach Niblett. But Gainesville hasn't beaten the number one team since 2011.
I knew it.
With
there it is.
Deshaun
I knew
Watson.
it was coming.
There it is.
It is a very, very difficult place to play.
And
I hate to pick against Gainesville.
But
I'm going to go
there
with
it is.
Soften it.
I got to go with Carrollton
and
Juju Lewis. I'm sorry. I just think that's
comment section's gonna hate Jeff this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, it's hard to pick against Gainesville. This is an insane.
So
game.
did you pick Gainesville or Carrollton?
No, he took Carrollton.
I'm going to
Yeah, I
take
started to
Carrollton.
say, he made it look pretty easy.
Look, if I'm
She
giving
picked
Alex
there.
Payne and Julius Columbus,
keep
two of my
digging your
buddies
hole.
over there, some fuel, you're welcome. Use it. Let's go win this game.
I am going to take Gainesville on the road here, and I'll tell you, I think this is a great we talked about Juju Lewis and all the great receivers they have. I think this is a great warm-up test for Gainesville because it's non-region for what they're going to have to probably face to win the region title later with Milton, because I think Milton is probably actually a little bit better version of what Carrollton brings to the table. I'm going to take Gainesville in this one on the road at Carrollton.
Oh, yeah, give me Gainesville. Give me Gainesville all day long. I'm going up there. I'll be there.
Down there.
Down there.
Over, wherever.
It always feels like up
wherever.
there.
Over, down,
over
somewhere.
Over, down.
Is it south of us technically?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always felt like it was either south or just way over.
Southeast.
Yeah. It's
Southeast.
Southwest.
Don't
Nobody knows
go
what directions
southeast.
are.
Do not go southeast.
Southwest.
All right,
My bad.
Walker.
Okay.
The big key is, can Gainesville's defense contain Juju Lewis? I think they can over the course of the game. Give me Big Red to win by 10 points.
That is exactly what most excites me about this game. That front seven of Gainesville versus Juju and his offense.
That's going to be a tremendous
You watch Xavier Griffin, the speed he comes off the edge with. You watch Julius Columbus and those guys just hammer down on defense, and they've done nothing but improve. I can't pick against Gainesville this because I think this could end up being, I'm not going to say a statement game with the win, but I think this is going to be a statement game across the state of, hey, Gainesville is in it to be a contender for the state championship. And as you said, Milton, they're looming in the region. This is going to be a great, great tune-up for Gainesville as well in that aspect.
Absolutely. Look, I would love to see Gainesville win this game. I'm the only one that picked Carrollton. I I really thought this would be more
And
even.
you just doubled down. Hey, Dr. Williams, thank you, man, for joining us today. We appreciate it. A lot of great picks and a lot of great insight.
Guys, I appreciate you having me on. Always enjoy the show. Always wait for it to drop to get out there. Seth, behind the scenes and everything, great job. And guys, we'll see most of you, I guess, on Friday night. Jeff, we're going to have to look at that spot you've got coming down the road.
Best guest pick ever.
Yes, the headgear. Nice touch. Nice
awesome,
touch.
Coach.
Good deal.
Awesome.
Guys, appreciate you having me.
All right, thanks. Dr. Jeremy Williams, Gainesville Superintendent, our guest picker today. We're going to get to our dark horse dogs. That's coming up here next.
Yeah, I've got like a blank screen with some audio levels on it. That's like and a record signal.
Do we
that's
have?
Like,
Did we open? We got music for this, right?
we do have music. We usually have music
Is
for
there
the
no
picks.
video of us?
Yeah, you're good, You're good, Jeremy.
You're good, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank
This-
y'all.
All
Well,
right, see you, man.
Okay.
I've got essentially a blank screen with some toggles on it. And
Well, hopefully we've got.
it's saying it's recording,
Let's go.
but we'll see what
we'll
happens.
find out.
Yeah, I was about to say we're doubled down on the audio, so bare minimum we can release it on a podcast. I think I'm just going to do that every time.
Roll it.
Let's go.
All right, guys, time to get to the dark horse dogs. Dogs. There was not many of us were successful last week in the dark horse dog picking. Jeff was one of the few that was successful. The rest of us not very successful.
Jeff.
Seth actually won outright. Jeff pushed.
No, I
Jeff
won.
covered.
I
covered.
You covered.
Yeah. I was about to say, that looks pretty successful to
you
me.
covered. You won. The rest of us lost.
Heh.
So there you have it. Jeff still leads the standings at 49 total points. Myself
By way
and,
more than he has a right to.
Myself and Seth are at 16 points. Walker's at 15 points, and Caleb at 11 total points. And this week,
Did you hit the random on the picks? Because this is the same order as last week.
I
No,
did.
it's not.
I did.
Because I'm going first.
Oh, it
No,
is.
you're not.
It is.
Not in Dark Horse Dogs.
Yeah,
you're not.
I did. I put those in. I guess the internet.
Messed it up.
Oh,
watched you do
that's-
it. I was supposed to
I
be
just
first
noticed
on
that.
I was supposed to be first.
You want me to do it in random order real quick?
No,
I got it.
I'm going first because I saw it and I was first. I don't know what he put in there, but that's incorrect.
I guess I was updating it when the internet decided to go.
Walker, run a random one, and the first random one that comes up with Jeff first is the order we'll
Yeah,
use.
go with it.
Oh my
Okay,
God! How many hours are we going to be here?
25 generators later.
Give me a second.
1001.
Jeff, Walker, Caleb, Seth, Bo.
All right, let's do it.
Look at that.
Okay, so I get this is a hard week.
You've been knowing you've going first. You should know this by now.
I know, but I haven't been able to make
Today.
up my mind. That's the
Today.
problem. Today. I know I picked Lumpkin, but I think I'm going to take the GAC +4 because I really think that's going to be a close game.
I need this because AT&T apparently isn't capable of supplying one of its business clients with internet.
That is correct.
Am I second here, or remind me?
Who was second?
Jeff, Walker, Caleb, Seth,
Go for
Bo.
it.
Go.
I'm next.
Go, Walker.
I am going to. You know what?
What?
I'm going to take. I'm going to take Pickens.
You picking Pickens?
I picked White County to win, but 4 points, and it's in Jasper, so maybe Pickens wins this one.
I'm falling behind big here, so I need to kind of throw up I need to throw a bomb to the end zone
I did
here
that last week.
hope
Lost
it,
by 1.
and hope it lands. So I'm going to take Banks County +32.
That a boy.
Bluff wins easily, but I need Banks
That
to
a
cover
boy.
a 32-point spread to help me out here.
That a boy.
Well, you would only get 3 points if that's the case if they cover. So
He's gonna win it outright.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you
win.
got
Oh,
to
wait,
outright to
that's
get the
right.
tournament.
Oh, you already picked it.
Yeah.
Nope, you already picked
It's
it.
in. It's in. It's locked in. It's in.
You got to win outright to get the
And he
points.
throws his phone.
Get wrecked.
Now, see you,
Get
Caleb.
wrecked, Caleb.
Don't hit you with the door.
That was good. That was good. Now the regret has just set in.
This is the face of regret. This is the face of I messed up.
Caleb,
Ruh-roh.
maybe
Imagine if Banks wins, though, Caleb. Imagine if
Maybe Banks will
wins.
pull the biggest upset of the week.
Just make the picks.
Not. I doubt it. No. Sorry.
Oh no.
And go.
Let's go.
It's
Okay. Oh goodness me.
That was
That's
good.
that's
was
hilarious.
So good. That was good. I'm glad that didn't happen to me.
So
Hate this
reviewing
game.
the rules, to get any points, you have to win.
you have to win outright. Your team,
That's
the
right.
underdog, has to win to get
A push
the
gets
points.
you 1 point. A cover gets you 3. And then
If your
a
dog
win outright
wins-
gets you the spread.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. What'd you? What? Who?
I'm
Let's
never going to
see.
forget that one.
I think.
This is a very hard week.
You know what? Give me Madison +4. Damn it.
That's an excellent pick.
Bo. Bo.
It's a G-rated cuss
I
word.
knew it'd be you. You know what? Strike that. I thought it'd be Jeff, but it's you. It's the show that I have.
That's strike 2, right?
Yeah, that's
If
2.
he gets one more before the end of the show, somebody else hosts next week.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. You know what?
No. What? What do we know?
Who's been picked already?
GAC has been picked. Banks County has been picked. Madison County has been picked, and Pickens. You have Union, South Forsyth, Riverside, Chestatee, Loganville,
I know.
Should have taken South
or
Forsyth.
Bremen.
South Forsyth.
stupid.
I'll take South Forsyth. Thanks, Caleb.
Stupid
I'll
game.
take South Forsyth. Even though I picked no to win, I'll pick South Forsyth.
All right,
Stupid
and
game.
with that,
And then with that,
Caleb, would you like a few last words?
I'm good. I'm good.
Tailgate show Friday.
yeah, tailgate show Friday.
He doesn't care.
I'll be there.
Caleb is in utter defeat right now. This is
We hope to have 3 games on the air for you on Friday. Hopefully AT&T will get our internet back going, maybe at some point. But we do have 3 games on the air this week. North Hall at Chestatee is going to be on FM 102.9. Oh, by the way, South Forsyth, North Forsyth on AM 550. And Carrollton, or Gainesville at Carrollton, over on 94.5 The Lake. And stay tuned after the games. You'll hear, this guy over here's really lost his puppy dog. And Walker
licking his wounds.
Going to be on the
Hopefully I'll be on the air. I'm not
award-winning.
sure.
The
AT&T outage may hurt me too. The
Look,
Gabby award-winning show.
The award-winning Hardy Chevrolet scoreboard show, by the way. And let's give a big round of applause to these 2 guys. Large Market Radio Sports Program of the Year. Congratulations on our Hardy Chevrolet scoreboard. As you can hear that to wrap Friday game night up on Friday. And don't forget, go to the website. Follow us on X at Friday Game Night.
Hey, Caleb, what do you got on the tailgate show?
Something.
It's something.
I don't know,
Pain and anguish.
I'm out at this point.
Hey, look, enjoy week number 5 of high school football. Bye-bye. Nobody's going to salute this time? No salutes?
Wrecked. Caleb is
None of
absolutely
this?
wrecked.
That was the best ever.
Wrecked.
So good.
Oh, toast.
Oh, let's get out
Slap
of
some
here.
butter on him and call him toast. He's done.
Please tell me it's still rolling. It's still rolling,
Oh,
right?
yeah, of course we're still rolling.
Bye, Caleb.
I guess I'll see you here in a little while.